discuss a practical on embryological evidences for evolution. Introduction. Evolution means an unfolding or unrolling, a gradual orderly change from one condition to another. The circumstantial proof is the only evidence to support organic evolution for occurrence of varied forms of plants and animals on this earth. The study of one type of evidence of evolution is called embryology, the study of embryos. Embryos of many different kinds of animals, mammals, birds, reptiles, fish, etc. look very similar, and it is often difficult to tell them apart. Many traits of one type of animal appear in the embryo of another type of animal. For example, fish embryos and human embryos both have gill slits. In fish, they develop into gills, but in humans, they disappear before birth. This shows that the animals are similar and that they develop similarly, implying that they are related, have common ancestors, and that they started out the same, gradually evolving different traits, but that the basic plan for a creature's beginning remains the same. Now, we will see evidences from embryology. The embryology is the study of the development of an individual organism from its beginning, from egg to attainment of adult structure. The individual development is called ontogeny, and the ancestral history of the species is called phylogeny. In 19th century, von Baer, Darwin, Ernst Haeckel postulates remarkable theories about the patterns of development. Haeckel formulated the recapitulation theory or biogenetic law. It says ontogeny recapitulates phylogeny. Ontogeny is the life history of the individual starting from the ovum, and phylogeny is the sequence of adult ancestors which must have occurred in the evolution of the group of this individual. It means an individual during its development repeats the most important changes which its ancestors have undergone during the long and slow course of their evolution. The homologies were traced at the following stages. First is homology in early embryonic development. Second is homology in the embryos. Third is recapitulations. 4 is retrogressive metamorphosis. 5 is neoteny. First is homology in early embryonic development. All the multicellular organisms exhibit a common pattern of development. Their development starts from a unicellular fertilized egg or zygote. The fertilized egg, after repeated cell divisions, forms blastula, which finally developed into a two-layered gastrula. The cells which compose the embryo in the cleavage stage and blastoderm stage and even the gastrula stage are apparently all similar. The development after gastrula stage becomes modified in different groups of animal. From the gastrula stage onward, development include three main things. First is the gradual differentiation of the cells into various kinds to form various animal tissues. Second is the arrangement and grouping of the tissues into organs and body parts. Third is finally the development of these organs and the body parts in special conditions characteristic of the species of animals to which the developing individual becomes. Now, we will see an example. The volvox is a colonial algae in which the differentiated cells are arranged in the form of the hollow ball. The fertilized egg divides to form 2, redividing to form 4, then 8 and so on. In Hydra, whose body consists of 2 layers of cells, its fertilized egg divides just as the volvox egg did. Eventually, a hollow ball of cells differentiate and produce a new generation of volvox and hydra accordingly, but it is noted that blastula and gastrula stages are typically of the embryonic pattern of higher animal. Second is homology in the embryos. The early embryos in all the vertebrates are very similar, and it is not easy to differentiate a human embryo from the embryo of chick, frog or fish in early stages. These similarities in the embryonic stages of different vertebrate groups are: first, similar form and structures like presence of gill clefts, notochord, tail and rudiments of eyes and ears. Second is similarity in the replacement of notochord by vertebral column. Third is similarity in the development of limbs in the tetrapod embryos. Fourth is embryos of closely related vertebrates resemble more and for a longer period. Some of the examples are as follows. First is the study of above figure reveals the great similarity of early embryonic stages of all the forms. In the figure, the embryos in the first horizontal row are so similar and difficult to identify. In second row, it is observed that there is more similarity between fish and salamander embryos. Even in the third row, their similarities are quite remarkable. Thus, the early embryos of all individuals are much alike. Later, those of different classes become remarkable, and still later family and species characters become evident. That is to say, the embryos during the development become progressively more and more different from the embryos of other animals. The common pattern of development or resemblance in the embryos of different groups could be explained as having been inherited from an ancestor common to all. Second is evidence from embryology of a common ancestry is seen in the larva of annelids and mollusks. The adult of this phyla bear no resemblance to each other. Third is recapitulation theory. The development of man can be taken as an example to illustrate the theory of recapitulation. The fertilized egg may be compared to the single-celled ancestor of all the animals and the blastula to a colonnaded protozoan, which might have been the ancestor of all the metazoa. Gastrula represents the coelenterate ancestor and the embryo, with the development of mesoderm represents triploblastic stage like a flatworm. The early human embryo with a dorsal hollow nerve cord, a well-developed notochord and a series of gill slits represents the fundamental chordate characters. With the development of a piscine heart, paired aortic arches, primitive pronephrons and a tail, it resembles a fish embryo. Later on, it resembles reptilian embryo and finally develops mammalian characteristics. During the 7 months of intrauterine development, the human embryo resembles a baby ape, being completely covered with hair and having proportionately longer forelimbs. It means embryonic development, that is ontogeny, in man recapitulates the history of phylogeny in the race. This provides support to recapitulation theory. Other examples of recapitulations are: first, presence of fish-like characters like gills, gill slits, tail, tail fin and lateral line sense organs in tadpole larva of frog. Second is presence of flagellated sperm and water dependency for fertilization in animals. Von Baer's principle of embryonic differentiation constitute a better guide to embryological evidence for evolution. These principles are as follows. First is general characteristics appear in the development early and specialized characters later on. Second is from the more general, the less general, and finally the specialized characters appear. Third is an animal during development departs progressively from the form of their animals. Fourth is young stages of an animal do not resemble with adults of different groups, but they resemble with their embryos. Fourth is retrogressive metamorphosis. The Ascidian tadpole is free swimming and possesses all the three chordate characters. On metamorphosis, it changes into sedentary degenerated adult. During metamorphosis, it loses all the chordate features. This is called retrogressive metamorphosis. Larva has helped in determining chordate nature of ascidians. 5 is neoteny. In some animals, as an example, axolotl larva of ambystoma, the larva fails to undergo metamorphosis. It develops gonads, attains sexual maturity and starts reproduction. This is called neoteny or pedogenesis. Retention of primitive or larval features by adults provides evidence in favor of evolution. Summary. To summarize, in this topic we have discussed the circumstantial proof of evidence which support organic evolution for occurrence of varied forms of plants and animals on this earth. Among all evidences we discussed embryological evidences. In this part, we have talked about homology in early embryonic development, homology in the embryos, recapitulation and retrogressive metamorphosis, followed by neoteny with suitable examples are explained. Based on embryological evidences in evolution, less mutations occur during early stages, hence they appear similar, but during later stages these mutations increase, hence they differ greatly like fish, reptile, human, etc. Thank you.